Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optics, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. And on today's episode, we are going to be reviewing the latest film, In the Heights. I'm your host, Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host and my good friend, Devin. Man, we're here. We're back at it again. 2 days in a row, recording our third podcast episode. For the second one for the week, third overall. So we've been. You
can call this our little dream.
Yes, our little dream. We're busy boys. But before we begin today's show, you can listen to this podcast on platforms around the internet, and you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optics. That is Optics with an X for all of our latest announcements. But Devin, how's your day been? You been good? Chilling?
It was a good day,
yeah.
Got a lot done. Good Thursday.
Okay. Did you watch the Summer Games Fest? The opening?
I did.
Your thoughts? Quick thoughts?
What
would you rate it out of 10?
They got Elden Ring at the end, which was a pretty big pull for them.
Finally. Been waiting for that game to drop forever. I was like, is George R.R. Martin gonna finish these books first, or is this game gonna come out? I'm like, let's be honest. The game's gonna come out first. So, and we were right. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I've been watching a few things here or there. I was keeping up with the news on Twitter. Nothing really excited me too much. That Tiny Tina thing seemed pretty cool. That game.
I don't know. It looks weird.
Yeah. And didn't they do something for Overwatch as well?
They just showed some skins. They didn't do anything.
Oh, well, that's boring. So I feel like that's more of a lackluster experience.
Yes.
Yeah, but I did watch the Elden Ring trailer, so that looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah. All right. So let's get into the meat and potatoes.
I decided to be a little spicy today. Go with a V-neck.
Ooh,
for the occasion.
Been a little spicy, a little salsa. I feel it. Yeah, I'm just wearing a Game of Thrones shirt. So it's laundry day for me, actually. I really got to do laundry this weekend. So what we'll do is, as always, we'll get into the non-spoiler review. And then once you hear this little guy right here, we'll get into these spoilers. So let me read the story, all that jazz, and we'll kind of just jump right on in because it's 9:53 p.m. on a Thursday. And this week has been going by very, very slow. Today drug on, even yesterday. But anyway, the story reads as such for In the Heights, a film version of the Broadway musical, which is U.S. Navy. I'm sorry. I can't get that out of my head. In which Usnavi, a sympathetic New York winery owner.
Why do they call it a winery?
I don't know. It's
a corner store.
Yeah, definitely
a bodega.
Definitely had a bodega. They probably subject to change for some things, but yeah. So a New York winery owner saves every penny every day as he imagines and sings about a better life. Directed by Jon M. Writers is Lin-Manuel Miranda and Quiara, Alegría, Hudes as well. And cast Anthony Ramos, Corey Hawkins, and Leslie Grace, just to name a few. This is dropping in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously. So by the time you listen to this, you can either watch it at home with the fam or go out and enjoy the full experience in a theater. So June 11th, here we go. We're here.
Thankfully, we got a Thursday showing for this HBO movie.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised about that because I don't think that's happened yet this year, has it? For any Warner Brothers property. Because I don't think so. For some reason, wait, did A Quiet Place Part 2? Yeah, that had a Thursday showing. That's right. We did that on Thursday.
That's not HBO.
No, it's not. I was just trying to think which ones did. I don't think Cruella did either because that's dropping on Disney Plus day and day. But yeah, I think this is the first HBO, the first Warner Brothers property to drop a day early in theaters Actually, it might already be out on HBO Max as of this recording because I did see a few people firing it up on their on the streaming service.
You sure they didn't choose Tom and Jerry and then this started playing?
Well, no, this time they actually tried to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and got In the Heights. It's
they'd
just
be very disappointed.
Yeah, it's just a running trend by now. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I guess I'll start off this time with my initial reactions. I loved it. Like, I absolutely loved this story. The runtime is around 2.5 hours. It didn't really feel that long. Like, I thought it was paced out really, really well. And I felt like everyone's story was wrapped up like very, very nicely in a neat little bow. It definitely had the feels there throughout the entire movie. And I really love how when it comes, the editing lines up with the music, like with the beats of the music. I always enjoy that for whatever reason. The entire cast is fantastic. Lin-Manuel Miranda, obviously sneaks his way into his own play. Of course, this is the movie adaptation. But yeah, I really just enjoyed it. Like, it was a banger, like the entire soundtrack. I was listening to it on the way home. We were talking about that a little bit before we started recording. And it really put things into perspective and kind of just more of like a life lesson that, like, life is short and that, you should never stop chasing, like, not your desires, but yeah, your dreams, the things you aspire that you want to be, and to not let any kind of like obstacle, whether it be big or small, try to discourage you or get in your way. But those are just my little initial reactions. What about you?
I mean, I agree. I think it was magical. Like, I mean, you get the Hamilton vibes, obviously. It's Lin-Manuel. Like, some of the songs have similar structure, even. You can kind of hear, like, I can see similarities to some Hamilton songs here and there, which is nice. It's a nice familiarity.
Yeah.
The cast is all great. I like that Lin-Manuel Miranda gave himself a really small role in this. He kind of takes a step back. He kind of lets the future generation take over a little bit.
Yeah.
Anthony Ramos is kind of his protege, it seems like. It's funny, he played his son in Hamilton, and now he's taking over.
It seems that they have that type of relationship between Anthony Ramos and Lin-Manuel, where within his within his movies, like, it's kind of like Martin Scorsese and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. My gosh, Robert De Niro. Like, he's always in his movies, like 100%. So it's like it seems that they definitely have that relationship.
Yeah. And the settings were all so amazing. Like, the set pieces, the locations they used.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was all like in actual Washington Heights, but I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it is. Washington Heights.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, it throws you for a loop a few times. Like, I thought I knew the ending. I was like, oh, okay, like this is good. Like, I'm really enjoying this. So I really thought that was I thought it was clever, the way how they crafted it. Of course, we'll get into that in a little bit as well. And there's a nice little Hamilton nod in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if you noticed that one, Devin.
I did, of course.
My entire theater was like, oh.
The classic Brad Pitt or Leo meme.
Yeah, the Rick Dalton. He's like pointing at the TV. He's like, there it is. But yeah, man, like we said, it has been such a blast. And I think as of right now, like, I've been shifting back and forth between my top 5 movies of the year. And this is premature, we'll get into it in a bit, but it's definitely hitting that top 5. I have a lot of things to think about, but it honestly might be number 1. I mean, my number 1 so far has been Billie Eilish's documentary, because I think is phenomenal in every way. It really shows you, just everything she's gone through, and like, a day in the life, not just the cookie cutter stuff that you see on like Jimmy Kimmel or those kind of interviews and whatnot. But it's a very raw performance. I'm teetering back between this and between In the Heights and Billie Eilish's documentary A World is a little blurry, because it's tough. It's tough, man. I don't know. I might have to give the edge to In the Heights. I gotta watch it again, of course. But
and just in general, I love the representation this gives for the Latin community.
Yes.
Like I've seen on Twitter, like there's like viewing parties that people are throwing. There's a lot of people going to different groups to watch this as a community, and it's so cool.
Yeah, that is something I really, really enjoy. The entire Latinx Latin community, however you perceive it. It really is just them coming together, and it is a very, very diverse cast.
It gives them something to look up to. Like any young person in that community can watch this, and
honestly,
gives them insight into what their culture is like, and
especially the Latinx community for sure. Everyone. I feel like everyone could take something from this movie, but this is for them for sure. Like, it is phenomenal. So
and there's a lot of the songs were in Spanish, and they didn't put any subtitles. They made it as pure as possible.
Even during while I was watching the movie, like sometimes they put it underneath, like if it was like very, very significant.
Yeah.
But if not, like they kind of just they left it up, because it's like this is a movie for the Latinx community, and it is spot on.
And they're not going to gentrify it.
No, not at all. It kind of reminded me of Miles Morales, Spider-Man PS4 Miles Morales. Like, you saw that a little bit of that culture, him living in Harlem and them living. And I like how they showed, like, hey, this is where Washington Heights actually is, because I never really didn't even know it like necessarily existed.
Yeah, I never heard of it before the movie.
Yeah,
one of the boroughs.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. And it's like going back to like the Miles reference, like, I mean, you kind of got like, the Latino vibe, from his mom, him speaking in Spanish throughout the entire game. But it really just felt like, I'm kind of glad that sometimes we didn't have the subtitles, because it just felt that more raw. And it's like, oh, like it kind of inclines you, like, even if you want to know what it is, you can ask one of your friends who does speak Spanish, or kind of just look it up yourself. So it kind of like makes you go back and like do a little bit of research. So it's not just on the screen like, oh, he spoke in Spanish and he said this, and this kind of thing. But yeah, which I really, really, really enjoyed. But Devin, let's get into our spoiler section of the review. So that's your warning. So we're now in spoiler section. So he never left. Usnavi,
he stayed home.
Yeah, he stayed home. Usnavi never, ever, ever left. And I probably should have gave people more of a warning. Like, wait, like no words in the spoiler section. I kind of just jumped into it, but it's totally fine.
Usnavi, U.S. Navy.
That was so funny.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, like that's a cool name. Like, where'd they get that from?
I heard the name, and I didn't even think about it. I was just like, oh, it's interesting. And then they just described it, and I was like, wow.
I mean,
Usnavi.
he definitely gave it his own spin. Like, it wasn't just, it literally wasn't just U.S. Navy, like all, excuse me, all one word. He disguised it a little bit and changed the Y to an I. So that was.
And can we talk about Vanessa? Oh, Vanessa.
Yeah,
Vanessa,
dude.
Vanessa.
Has she been in anything else? Like,
she looked so familiar, and I just looked it up, and she's not been in anything else. Mostly just Spanish movies or TV shows. Huh. This is like her breakout role.
That's awesome.
She's going to be in the new Scream that comes out next year.
Is she?
Apparently.
Okay. That's pretty cool. But
she
was wow. Great. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, even oh my gosh, let me bring up this IMDb for it. Pretty much every cast member just hit it home. Like, it was just I mean, obviously, we have Anthony Ramos, we kind of know his track record, but I was trying.
Yeah, I already know he's a star.
Yeah, I did actually want to point out really quick the Hamilton reference. If anyone didn't realize, it was like the waiting. It was the oh my gosh, what was it? The King's song, "You'll Be Back." It was kind of like the waiting music. While I believe it was, oh my gosh,
it was Kevin when he was calling he was calling Stanford.
Yeah. For Benny's girlfriend, Nina. Yeah, Nina. So it was literally when that happened, everyone was like, oh, it was so funny. Like everyone.
I don't know if anyone else noticed in my theater.
Really? Oh, there was like at least 4 people in my theater who noticed, and I was so happy that I was like, okay, I'm not alone in this, and we are in this together. It was a great, nice moment that we shared. I was like, wait a minute, and I was like, oh my god, it's the "You'll Be Back" song.
You'll be back,
and you'll see. Man, now I want to watch Hamilton.
Imagine this and Hamilton back to back marathon. That's going to be a thing.
A Lin-Manuel movie night, a flick night. Like, yeah, I really. What did you think of how the it is Lin-Manuel kind of doing like the singing song dialogue? Like, were you like, because I know at least with my first time watching Hamilton, like I did enjoy, but there were times where I had to kind of like go back and like, wait, what did he say? Like, because they're rapping or singing so fast, it's kind of like you need multiple viewings in order to kind of get the lyrics down, or just listen to the songs beforehand.
Yeah, I even realized like going and listening to the songs on my drive home, like I appreciated them even more because you get the knowledge throughout the movie of what these characters are like.
Yeah.
Like, especially at the beginning songs, it's like you don't really appreciate it until you go back and listen to it. It's like, yeah, I really like this. In the Heights. Oh, that song.
Dude, I'm trying to figure out what my favorite song is. And it's like I feel like I need to listen to the soundtrack a few more times.
There were a couple that stood out to me for sure. I think my favorite might have been 96,000.
Oh,
The pool scene was
the pool scene was awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Abuela.
No, I shed some tears.
I died. I was like, oh, Abuela and her journey. She was just like the sweetest old woman. And like, she was probably my favorite in the cast. Like, honestly, just,
she absolutely killed it when she had her own song scene where she had her send off. Wow, she was amazing.
Yeah, and like it was like her song was like her being like almost like in purgatory. Like, should she stay? Should she go? And she's like, Mama, like, Mom, I'm coming home. And I was like, oh man. As soon as she laid down and kind of like was like smiling and crying a little bit, it's like, man, I had a feeling.
Yeah, she laid down and I was like, oh no, not Abuela.
I was like, oh, Abuela. Oh man. I was literally just, I was shocked. I was like, well, man, that was like the pivotal moment, because everything leading up to the blackout and then everything after the blackout, it really just told a really like interwoven story. Like, you're mainly following, Vanessa and Usnavi and their character arc, and then you have Benny and Nina and Nina's father, and then you had Abuela, and then you had Usnavi's cousin and his father. I wish it would have delved a little bit more into that, but it is what it is. I mean, the movie was like 2.5 hours. Like, that's not long, but like for a musical, that's actually kind of long. Yeah, especially a film adaptation of a musical. But
yeah, I also really like the kind of like cultural like class divide that they kind of Parasite, like how in Parasite, when it rains, the rich people, it doesn't affect them at all. They have fun in the rain.
Yeah,
and then the people in the slums get like, they drown almost.
Yeah,
you can see the parallels. It's kind of similar here with the heat wave. Like, I'm sure in the richer boroughs of New York, it didn't affect them at all.
No.
They were probably enjoying the hot weather. And then in a place like this, there's a blackout for how many days?
It was like 3 days
even.
Yeah. And also with Vanessa's story, when she's trying to move to I believe it's more upstate New York, with that apartment, and she's like, I've been saving all this money, I'm trying to get a really nice apartment, and she goes to the realtor. The realtor takes one look at her application. She's like, I've been working in a nail salon because that's that was her life. That was everything that she knew, and it's like, and the lady just took a quick glance. She's like, yeah, well, we really need to run a credit score check or whatever. And it's and then the next couple just came in and she just opened them with welcome arms, didn't really even, ask for any kind of documentation. I mean, given, we really don't know where they were in that process, but it was I kind of got a feeling with that too. Cause it's someone who as hardworking as Vanessa, going through all this and trying to find her place, leaving Washington Heights and, trying to make it on her own. And especially with Nina as well, with her journey. And, she went off to Stanford, she was the one person that, got out of the Heights to, go represent their community and, show, what, Latinx or Latinos are made of. And, she comes back and this all happens during the summer. So it's she comes back and it's she hates it. And rightfully so, we find out that, she's been searched and, her roommate essentially misplaced her necklace that was in her own bag. And she's like, I even apologized for it. But they ransacked through her stuff and whatnot. And it is definitely discouraging. I mean, especially going to Stanford. I feel like anyone going to Stanford nowadays, it's you're slinging it with the posh people of the world. But enough about me, man. I've been rambling on here. What are some other talking points you wanted to bring up?
Let's see. Lin-Manuel and
the ice cream
and George Washington's got a little beef. Hamilton and Washington going at it. That's pretty good.
That was funny. It really is more of a gentrification story in a way. Is because you see these changes happening in this neighborhood. The nail salon is moving on up, or changing locations and whatnot, and like he just said, Lin-Manuel having his ice cream snow cone feud.
It's funny how they put those two in the trailer so prominently, and they were like in the movie with 2 minutes total. they just used their Hamilton fame to put them out there and get people in.
See, I only watched the trailer maybe once, so it's been a while since I've seen it. So there's only maybe a scene or two where I kind of remember, but overall, I think it's hard not to watch trailers, right?
Because, yeah, for a movie this long, they didn't show anything in the trailer
which is great, because it's it was all left up to interpretation, and going back to Usnavi never leaving, and it's I love it how they. It was.
You think he's on the beach the whole time?
Yeah, I was like, oh, so he did leave, and I'm like, okay, and then you find out one of the kids that he's telling about Washington Heights is his daughter, and it's okay, well, all right, who's the mother? And you're okay, well, maybe it's Vanessa, maybe Vanessa.
Some I Met Your Mother vibes going on.
Kids
with a better ending though.
Wow, you had to go there, Devin.
It's not saying much.
You had to go there. You're tearing my heart out. Absolutely. No, it's all right. But what did you think of the Benny Nina story arc with her father?
I was surprised by I didn't know Corey Hawkins had this musical and dancing talent in him.
The pipes, he's got it.
Yeah. I one thing I really liked is the little special effects they added throughout the movie. Their last scene together, they're dancing on the side of the building and doing cool stuff like that. And I loved when they're on their way to the pool and they had those cool dance effects throughout.
Yeah, that was sweet.
It just kind of adds to the magical feeling of the movie.
I need more from Lin-Manuel ASAP.
Yeah,
he's quickly becoming one of my.
I love how he was just kind of the chubby chubby snow cone guy.
Well, even playing Hamilton, I mean, like Lin has a decent voice, but obviously it's not like it's not like Ed Sheeran or or Beyonce or like Jennifer Hudson or something like that. But like he has a voice that I wouldn't even say it's passive.
It's very distinguishable though.
Yeah. Like he has a voice that can definitely carry on and off Broadway, as we've seen. And he can harmonize like really, really well. And it kind of just fits in, like, like it's not like, oh, like, that's good enough. It's like, it like you said, it is a distinct voice that works with everyone else's, musical performance. But like I wouldn't call it like, oh, like it's passing or anything like that, but it is very distinct, like you said. It's great. And
one other song I really liked was Carnaval del Barrio. When the salon ladies are like, all right, what are we doing? Let's party. Come on.
Man, they were catty.
That one got me hyped.
They were catty AF, man. They were in there talking about everybody's business and their mother. I was like,
tell me something I don't know.
Yeah. Man, oh man, that was great. What did you think of the younger cousin? I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was really cool. His rap verse in the 96,000 definitely went in.
And speaking of 96,000, Abuela won the lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming, by the way.
He lied to us.
Yeah, he was like,
although I guess he didn't technically lie. He said no one ever turned it in. He didn't know whoever turned it in.
That's true, because he did not turn it in. And
yeah.
I thought he was going to do, I did not know that's what he was going to do with the money. I thought that after Usnavi helping Vanessa with getting her apartment, I thought he was going to either like buy her house or like, pay off her apartment, or be like, hey, like come with me, I have extra cash. But no, he actually uses it towards a good cause with his little cousin. Sorry, I'm blanking on his little cousin's name really quick.
Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny. So yeah, he was great. I love how he pretty much asked Vanessa out for Usnavi. He was like, "Sup?"
Oh my god, I love that song.
Yeah,
that song they had together after she accepted. That was so good.
That was good.
Put a smile on my face.
Sonny
he's like, don't touch me, I'm too hot.
Right. He was like, don't even touch me, man. Like I'm burning up over here. I love it how he like tried to drop his voice octaves. Like if he was like, hey, he's like, what's up? It kind of reminds me of Spider-Verse. He's like, I gotta do is like under in the eye, look her in the eye, put your hand on the shoulder and be like, hey, hey, what's up? Yeah, the entire movie, man. Even with like the nail salon, they're all the characters there, and just and even Nina's father, like you could really tell that he cared about his daughter. Like he didn't like it at first. It kind of made it seem like he was doing something selfish, but like it was all for the good of his daughter. And you later find out that he never graduated high school. That his own father pulled him away to help work this and receive the same wage as him. And he just wanted something better for his daughter. When it's like, that makes sense for him saying, like, no, like you need this opportunity. You need to continue to go to Stanford. And, he sold his business to, twice. Yeah. And I didn't realize that Sonny was undocumented, because I was like, oh, that's why. Like they kind of hinted at it, but it was kind of hard to hear a little bit. But I was like, oh, okay. Obviously later on that scene when they're like, yeah, like we need you to cash this in. I wonder how long how long does it take? Like, what is the closing window to cash in a lottery ticket? Because I would love to know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I guess it was only like 3 days after, so like maybe it's like a week or something like that. But I don't know. Anything else you wanted to touch on?
I guess one of the only real negatives I had, I didn't really love the Vanessa like fashion designer stuff. Felt kind of like forced. They just kind of feels like they threw that in to make her seem like I don't know, she's got something going on
other than the love interest.
Yeah, because even at the end when she picks up the spray paint rags and uses those, I was like, all right, that's a little cheesy. That's a little too much.
I thought it was
you're gonna use some old rags for your fashion design.
Hey man, she got it working. That's all.
It was really cool when they all came together at the end and redesigned the store though.
Yeah, I really, really like that.
I didn't expect the spray paint kid to be such a big part of the ending.
Dude, when he got that,
because in the beginning he's getting shooed away from the store,
and he got paint on Vanessa's shoes. I was like, get out of here! Those are some clean kicks right there. Like they were, it's like out of the box, like as if she just picked those bad boys.
They all had some clean kicks.
They really, really did. I was like, this is.
Usnavi had some fresh Nikes. I've never even seen them before.
Yeah,
those like tan-ish ones.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the polo shirt that Leonardo DiCaprio won. The polo he wore during Wolf of Wall Street, because it's just a white polo and it has like the little the black polo logo. Dude, like as soon as like that movie came out, I'm telling you, like I don't know how much it was going for, but like they were more definitely on the expensive side, because I knew a few of my brothers were trying to buy it. Like some of them got like the dark blue, they trying to pass it off as black because like it's dark enough, but like it wasn't like the classic white polo with the polo logo, the black polo logo. But yeah, they kind of reminded me of that. So I thought that was really sweet though. Those are some nice Nikes. I was like, all right, yeah. This is good.
It kind of looked like Tim's for a second. Then it's like, oh, there's some fresh names.
If you zoom in here at the third,
they're not in the Bronx, though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
They don't want to steal Tim's from them.
Yeah. But I'm really glad that like, just every character that we pretty much ran into, like whether it was just for laughs or something like that, shared a purpose. Because it was just, even
the smallest ones, like I mentioned, the spray paint guy, like even he ends up making a difference in the end.
That was so funny. But that was, my heart goes out to Abuela Claudia. That was just, man. Why did she have to go? It tore me up for sure. Like she was just,
and then it just goes silent afterwards too.
Yeah,
like dead silent.
She just closes her eyes and she's at peace. And I was like, I don't. The only thing is, do we know like what her sickness was? Like,
well, he said she was not taking her pills, so
yeah, and they just said that, like her heart gave out. So it's like, okay, well, they probably didn't really know. I mean, that's such a small nitpick. It's like, we get it. She was sick-esque from the beginning, trying to push on through. But yeah, I kind of wish we would have gotten more of the why she didn't take the pills, or maybe it's more in the song. I'm going to listen to the song again. So.
Yeah. They pack a lot of details into these songs.
I'm telling you, on the work tomorrow.
That last song was so good too.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's like you could hear everything. Like the orchestral, everyone was speaking clearly. No one sounded mumbled, or anything like that. It was just all so.
Everyone was cracking up during that champagne song.
Yeah, that was great. He's not trying to get this damn tape. Man, and it really showed that, like, it wasn't just like a fairy tale love story between Usnavi and Vanessa. Like, they had their differences, like when they're in the club leading up to the blackout, he's calling her out and all this other stuff. And, she has her own complications, and, she's mad at herself for, not realizing. It's like, how many cups of coffee does this man have to give you to be like, oh, maybe he's interested in me? It's like, he's running a bodega on a corner store. Like, he doesn't have to give you the coffee for free. And with sugar and milk? Creamer? Come on now. Come on. Crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty much, yeah. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we close out here?
I just really liked it. We both did.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
What's your score?
I'm going with an A.
I'm going with solid. A+. A+. I'm giving this like a like a 97. Like,
how does it compare to Hamilton though?
Dude, don't even get me
same level.
Don't get me started because I don't know yet.
I think this one, for me, I like this one better because I'm not a big period piece guy. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you want to even call Hamilton that, but
yeah,
I just like the modern aesthetic. Setting more.
Yeah, it is more relatable nowadays. Yeah. But it's dude, I really don't know. Like, I need to watch In the Heights again, and I don't know if I'm going to go see it in theaters again, or I might just, my second viewing might just be on HBO Max, just because I'm going to be pretty busy covering E3, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time to leave the house all that much, aside from a few things. But yeah, I'll probably, I mean, it's out on HBO Max right now. I know my mom wants to watch it as well. She's like, it looks really, really good. But yeah, I would have to give back to you on that one because I've seen Hamilton twice on Disney Plus. And by the way, we just want to throw this out there on this podcast. We do consider the Disney Plus version of Hamilton a movie. Thank you very much.
And so does every member of the cast.
Yep. Just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, there's always going to be the naysayers, Devin. There's always going to be the people out there who want to crush your hopes and dreams and be like, oh, well, Hamilton is in the movie. It's like, no, but the Disney Plus version is, because that actually consists of 3 different performances by the same cast that they edited together and made it more so of a movie. I mean, like, in technicality, no, it's not the same production value as, it's not shot like a traditional movie, but there are, there's close-up shots, there's far-out shots and whatnot, enough that you can consider the Disney Plus version a movie. So just wanted to land
case closed.
Case and points. No further questions, Your Honor. But let's do a little bit of wrap up here before we close out. What is coming up on the pod, Devin? We have Luca next week and Loki episode 2. Loki episode 2 will be dropping on Wednesday. We did get screeners for Luca, but I believe the embargo date is on the same day that we are dropping Loki. So we're going to release our Luca review on Friday, the same day and day that it drops, because it will give us a little bit more time to.
And we can do spoilers.
Yeah, and we can do spoilers. That will be very, and I get it. People want to release their reviews, but it's like, you know what? We usually do a non-spoiler and spoiler section anyway. So we got you all covered there. It's all good. And next up, of course, go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I cannot stress that enough. Like I said, we're trying to make it out here. This is our little dream that we're trying to make a reality. Rest in peace, Abuela. We miss you. And last but not least, make sure to go follow Critics Play Games. It is a new podcast that I started with a few other film critics. It's about film critics who are covering video games. So, we're going to be doing as much E3 coverage as we can. We weren't able to do a Summer Games Fest coverage just because, I was at work. And actually, really quick, a huge shout out to Zach and Leo, my other hosts over on Critics Play Games, because they were live streaming, not live streaming, but live tweeting over on our over on the Twitter account over there. So a huge congratulations to both Zach and Leo for doing that. I do believe we're going to try to do Ubisoft. Devin, you want to come on?
Ubisoft.
Well, okay, we got to start with Ubisoft, and then we get into the good stuff with Xbox and Square Enix later that day. But I was just asking, just to cover the main events, because technically E3 starts on Friday by the time this drops, but there really isn't anything going on like opening day, and then Ubisoft is Saturday, Xbox and Square Enix is Sunday. I forgot who's Monday, and then Tuesday is Nintendo. That's like their traditional time, but
yeah.
Yeah, definitely have to have you on, for Xbox, if anything. I mean, we'll figure out for Ubisoft's. Hopefully we'll do something. If not, I think starting off with Xbox and maybe even Square Enix doing one for that would be really, really cool. But I would like to do one for Ubisoft as well, but we'll see there. But, and of course I will be covering, doing a few pieces for the Music City Drive-In website covering E3 as well. We both got Infomedia, but I really don't know. I don't know what this I don't know what this media portal is. That's what it definitely seems like. Well, next year, now that we have this under our belt, we can be like, hey, next year we should go to E3. We should plan to go, Devin, at least one time in our lives.
I'm down.
Because we literally have done this. We've watched this together. Like, God, how many years has it been? Like, early 360 days. Like, it's been a long, long time. I might be watching it through G4 this year just to kind of get back into the old school mood. Because, IGN's all right, but I was so mad, by the way, today for Summer Games Fest. They started live streaming like an hour before, and it was just nothing but like trailers for like new games. So I was like, I thought this started at 11 my time, and it was like, oh no, it's noon my time, and that was when my lunch was over. So, oh well. Anyway, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, let's wrap up here. Let's get out of here. And that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other podcasts over on musiccitydrivein.com and subscribe to our show so you never, ever, ever miss an episode. That was Devin. My name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Adios.
Adios.